Welcome to Cinema On. Today we will comment on the movie The Killers of the Flower Moon, one of our favorites, and with lots of nominations at the Academy Awards. Learn about the history of the film, its proximity to the reality of the story, and the outstanding details. Stay until the end to find out all its curiosities. The Killers of the Flower Moon is the 26th work by iconic director Martin Scorsese, a master in the art of cinematic narrative who has left his mark on cinema history with legendary films such as Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, and Shutter Island. Scorsese, characterized by his skill with great stories, on this occasion transports us to the 1920s in Osage County, Oklahoma, where we are immersed in the details of the brutal murders of the Osage Native American community, a genocide that occurred in the history of the United States. The film begins with the crying and prayers of the indigenous community, who through a ritual lament the future loss of their customs. We see their clothing, we hear their language, we understand the situation, but we do not fully immerse ourselves in the exploration of this ritual, but rather we fly immediately to the next scene, which explains the reason of their loss. They will change their ways of life and lose gradually their customs because of the oil that lies beneath their territory. Thus, we are introduced to the narrative rhythm of the film and the problems that the entire story will address, as well as the focus from which it will be told. We then go into more details and meet the main characters. Ernest arrives from the war to the lands of his uncle William, known in the area as the King, a wealthy white gentleman, a cattle rancher, who has acquired land in the Osage Nation, exploits the resources of the place and seeks, at any cost, to appropriate the riches of the region.
You gonna kill this Indian?
How'd you know?
Bill, may not look very good. It's hard to justify this one.
He owes me a lot of money.
I want to buy some moonshine.
No, Henry, you don't need that stuff. It's hurting you.
The doctor said I should use
No,
some.
I don't care what he says. He don't know what the hell he's talking about.
This is the character played by Robert De Niro, and he is the head of the matter, the main settler, who represents the real William Hale, who led the Kings of the Osage Hills criminal network, along with his nephews. Ernest is the one who is convinced by his uncle to marry Molly Kyle, a native of the place, to get hold of her riches.
She said it, but it must have been Indian for handsome devil.
Molly, played by Lily Gladstone, embodies in her own skin the slow decline of the tribe. The all-star cast, led by Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, and Lily Gladstone, delivers masterful performances that bring complex, multifaceted characters to life.
I'm a man. I want to know why a woman like you doesn't have a husband. You know, you got nice color skin. What color would you say that is?
My color.
Scorsese's frequent collaborators, DiCaprio and De Niro, once again demonstrate their extraordinary ability to immerse themselves in their roles.
Right, there's gonna be a war from here.
Settle down.
They're gonna know something. They're gonna know that we did something. Game, we can talk about this right
You
now.
have to settle down. Settle down.
While Gladstone emerges as a revelation, bringing moving depth and authenticity to her character.
Me the here the wicked.
Through a dynamic narrative, we begin to participate in a series of murders led by the clan. However, William, who has cleverly mixed himself among the members of the tribe and who appears to be their best ally, makes the murders appear like a mystery that no one digs up or asks.
Atseki e anako, wako inahe hoji, adice e paiko, wajashi no kashe sheeki she no pe, wakonda, uheka, gade, wadakshi.
Violent deaths become normal. Meanwhile, Ernest continues his marriage and commits treasonous actions against his wife, always seeking to achieve his uncle's goal, taking over the family's wealth.
Shinkaji Thishki, see the waspa. All right?
The deaths continue to grow and the lack of investigation by the state forces, the community to ask the president directly for help to safeguard their lives. Finally, the FBI decides to go to town and unmask the murderers.
We have so many deaths we've lost count.
We would kill them.
In 3.5 hours, the film narrates this series of events in great detail and develops the profiles of the main characters in depth. Based on the book of the same name by David Grann through the Osage land conflict, it tells of racism, greed, and corruption, and embodies these characteristics in the characters and their relationships.
Well, you think you can get better with all them medicine man and all them roots and all them herbs and all that horse shit?
As its name says, The Killers of the Flower Moon offers us a complete overview of the murderers who commit the massacre. The film does not seek to vindicate the Osage, nor honor them at all. The murderers are the main focus and the Osage community, and the characters that represent it take a back seat. They fulfill the function of contributing to the context and being the victims of the dispute.
Please send help. There's murder in Osage. The police do nothing.
The director uses his ability to weave intricate stories, giving the film an oppressive atmosphere that reflects the somber tone and growing tension of the time. The staging of the Moon Killers is another of the film's strong points, and the emotional intensity of the story. The breadth of the story allows for a thorough exploration of the events and characters, although this also means that certain emotions and feelings are not delved into as deeply. We go from one situation to another, which, intertwined, fulfill the function of telling us the story very well.
You sit by her?
No.
Me?
No.
In terms of fidelity to historical facts, The Moon Killers is a solid representation of the tragic events that took place in Osage County from the point of view of the perpetrators. The Moon Killers is a great work of historical cinema that stands out for its expert direction, stellar performances, and moving narrative. Martin Scorsese once again demonstrates his ability creating powerful cinema of powerful men, delivering an ambitious and exciting film.
My wife, Catherine Cole.
Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you.
Full blood.
Sky people, right? Sky people.
Middle water. Oh. Middle water. Got the money on
this. Tell us in the comments if you have already seen the movie and what you liked the most. Subscribe to support our content and share the video with those who will enjoy this film.
Molly, it's time to go, sweetheart.